Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Live It Up, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life you absolutely love. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. Amy is out today, but will be back next week. So today, I'm delighted to have a couple who drove over from Tacoma to visit with us. In just a few moments, you're going to meet Curt and Kim Seevers. They were on the show about 3 months ago, and at that time, they told us about some of the cool things that had been happening in their life as they had been working through one of my coaching curriculums. As a result, they had achieved some remarkable results, but they were determined to take their finances and health to yet another level. So when we return, we're going to hear from them. Did they hit their goals? Were there setbacks or challenges, and how did they deal with them? But before we talk to them, I want to remind you that if you have a question about health, wealth, or relationships that you would like us to answer on or off the show, you can email me at fletcher@fletcherellingson.com. I also want to remind you that if you want to dig deeper into this personal development conversation, then go to my website, fletcherellingson.com, and sign up for the free 7-day course. I'm certain that it will make a difference for you. And hey, it's free, so you don't have anything to lose. I usually take time to on every show to answer a couple email questions, but today I want to ensure that we have as much time with Curt and Kim, so we'll skip that part today. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with the Seevers. Stay tuned for some excellent inspiration. Hey everybody, we are back. Welcome to Live It Up, and we're sitting here today with Curt and Kim Seevers. I almost said that backwards. Anyways, so hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us back.
Thanks for driving all the way over from the coast. We appreciate that.
Sure.
You got 2 mountain passes to go over, so I know it's a bit of a trek. So last time you guys were on the show, you shared some targets or goals, and you wanted to hit and you hit those, and then you share some new ones that you're going to hit. So we want to check in with you. It's been about 3 months, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys had some ambitious goals, yeah?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
One of my goals was to lose, I was about 214 pounds, and I wanted to get down to 195.
Uh-huh.
About a month ago, I got down to 194.6.
Nice.
And still kind of bouncing between the 195 and 200 pound range.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that the side effect had, as you would put it, is I've gone from a size 36 waist down to size 32s.
Right on.
So I've lost some inches, and I'm feeling much better with myself. And one of the other goals I had that was tied to that was to lose my CPAP machine, because I've been using that for about 1.5 years or so. And about a month, not even a month after I started, I stopped wearing it, and about 2-3 weeks ago, I packed it up and put it in the closet because I haven't used it anyway, so I figured I'll just put it away.
You're done with it.
Yep, don't need it.
That's so cool. And how does that feel?
Oh, it feels fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not been, below 200 for, probably 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
It just feels I have more energy, I have more zest for life, and it has some other side effects that Kim will touch on as well. So.
Right. Now, what's cool is that I don't know that you had told us about the CPAP machine as one of your goals. So you kind of maybe just kept that one to yourself, or maybe you did. I don't remember, but
yeah, I think I'd mentioned it was kind of one of those games I was playing with myself. I called the game "Lose the CPAP."
Oh, okay,
and that was
right.
That was ultimately the goal was to lose the CPAP machine. But I figured if I get down to the weight, I would lose. But I lost the CPAP machine a lot faster than I anticipated.
Right on.
So, and I have adjusted one of my goals. I want to get down to bounce between 185 and 190 now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm working towards that.
Cool. So you hit your goal, and you set another one already.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is great, because the brain is a goal-achieving machine. So if it doesn't have another goal to hit right away, it's going to look for one of your core beliefs to go back to if you're not managing it. So for instance, a lot of people experience that they lose the weight, but then they put the weight back on.
Yes.
And the reason they put that weight back on is because after you lose the weight, you've hit the goal, the brain then begins looking for the next goal, because it's always wanting to achieve, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you don't set another goal, it's gonna see like, well, let's just go back to one of our core beliefs, which is we always put that weight back on.
Well, and your
Right.
brain gets lazy.
Yes.
And your body gets lazy, and you're like, okay, well, I hit that. Okay, well, I can lose that again some other time. And so you just kind of go back into your old habits.
Exactly.
Whereas by setting a new goal for myself, my new standard,
Yes.
now I've got a new target to go to, so now hopefully I'll just move towards that.
Right, right. And then ultimately, you just begin to create a goal of what I do is I create health and vitality for my life.
Correct.
And that becomes a goal, and then your mind is like, oh, let's align all of our actions to create health and vitality.
Exactly.
Which is what you are doing.
Yes.
I love it. All right, cool. Thanks for sharing that, Curt.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right, Kim, let's check in with you. What were some of the goals that you had set 90 days ago, and where are you at with them?
Well, so I had set a dual goal. I had set a 135-pound mark for myself, and also a size measurement of size 2.
Okay.
And I am about 2.5 to 3 pounds, depending on the day, away from my goal. So I was disappointed. But we went on a little vacation for spring break, and when I came back, I was doing all this marathon laundry. And I went to go pull my 16-year-old's clothes out of the dryer, and I went to kind of, the jeans were inside out, and the little 2, the size 2, was staring at me. And so I sat and stared at it for a minute and just stripped in the laundry room, put the 2s on, and they fit.
Nice.
I went and woke Curt up because I was so
Yes, you
excited. I
did.
had to celebrate with somebody. But it occurred to me that although I had had this dual goal set and I hadn't reached fully one of them, the other one I did. And so listening to you talk about that brain being challenged, having that 135 there, it's still, there's sticky notes all over my office in the house that say 135/2.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to say, okay, well, I've made half of it and I still have this to do. And I'm with Curt. I still think I'll have another goal after that, but I am going to make that 135 here soon.
That's exciting.
And I'm keeping the 2.
Yeah, and you're keeping the 2.
I'm keeping
right
the
on.
2.
Right on.
Right, yeah. So it was exciting. So I feel like I'm making huge successes. And I kind of like, this is going to sound crazy, but I kind of like that I haven't met the goal fully yet because it's, like you just said, giving me something further to work towards.
Right, and when you're talking about weight loss, those are just they're just markers or along the way to let us know if we are on track, right? We don't want to get too hung up on that particular size or that particular weight. Those are just markers to let us know if we're on track. The real thing is how do you feel in your body, right?
That's right.
And how do you feel?
I feel great, but like Curt was saying, how he has his new target and I'm setting my new target, I feel like the targets are getting they're smaller increments because we need to kind of say, how are we feeling here?
Yeah.
What are the doctors saying about where we are here?
Yep.
And so we've taken the big chunk off, and now it's kind of just fine-tuning where we're going to feel our best.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
Good. What else? What other targets did you have? What other goals did you guys have?
Well, we set a goal together. We chose a mutual goal, which it was around our finances.
Yep, financial goal.
And we had a really large financial goal for us. It was large, and we kind of focused on this balance in our checking account.
Yeah.
And then Curt sort of upped the ante on us and said, well, even though this car is like the most minimal interest rate you could ever imagine, it's still a bill. Let's pay it off. So we got to our financial balance in our checking account.
Which was a big deal, by the way.
Right. I think we called you when it happened,
Yes,
right?
yes,
We were
yes.
very
Awesome.
excited. And then something occurred that we met with our financial advisor and our tax accountant, because of course it was during tax season when we were in the middle of these goals. And it occurred to us that if we paid the car off and didn't worry about having such a large balance in our checking account, that the money that we had been putting towards our car could be invested into our retirement account. And so with the help of our professionals, we all made this plan, and now we're going to max out how much we can put into our retirement account this year.
I love it.
We will have a car paid off. And the most exciting part of all of this we didn't see coming is we basically financed the deposit on a new home build. So we're going to be having a house built this year.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yep.
I mean, you guys, yeah, I mean, and was that part of the original plan?
No. Our original goal was the dollar amount and paying the car off.
Yeah.
And then the thing with this house, it's a house that we're building in Stillicum, and it's nothing spectacular, but it's something that we were like kind of just fell into. And we're like, oh, this is awesome. This is a great opportunity for us. And had we not, well, what we ended up having to do was changing our focus of our goal from the number and the car to really we're paying ourselves forward because we're getting this new house, we're getting our retirement set for later in life.
Yeah.
And even though the bank account number is not going to be where we want it to be, we're still growing it as we're doing all this other stuff at the same time.
Right, and I just got to take a break here and just say, what's so cool about this is you guys became your own bank, in a sense. You were able to take a loan from the money that you guys saved, that you worked hard for, and you guys made lots of sacrifices and changed the way you were spending and changed the way you were saving. You were able to save a bunch of money, and then you were able to fund this deposit for the home because of how wise you had been with your finances.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and it really took us kind of changing the way we were thinking about money and changing the way we were thinking about our savings in order, because my sleep number was different than Kim's sleep number, and mine was much lower than hers. But in order for us to both be comfortable, we had to adjust originally how we wanted to be. And then once we started looking at these other financial things we could do, we're like, okay, well, that's the goal, but now we got to go over here.
Right.
So even though the goal was out there, it was kind of a moving target, but we kept moving towards it.
Right. Awesome.
I think the important piece to this that I really learned, I knew intellectually we had retirement accounts set up. We've been very responsible about that. But what was really important was when we set the goal, the financial goal, and we met it, we were brave enough to bring in the professionals and really share, like we shared with you what that dollar amount was.
Yeah.
We shared with the accountant what our goals were. We shared with our financial advisor and became very vulnerable, but called in the professionals because we had not known that because we own a real estate business, we could even implement more money into our retirement account that we really didn't know anything about, but the professionals do.
Yeah.
So we really did tap into professionals that really helped us reorganize that goal. And now we have a November 1st goal to be back to the same dollar amount in the checking account, have the new house, the old one gone, and then we will reevaluate from there what's our next big move.
These guys are on fire. Seriously. I love it. This is so inspiring. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back as we hear about what were some of the obstacles or challenges that these guys came up against during this last 90 days as they were going for their goals. Stay with us. Hey everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. We are here with Curt and Kim Seevers are telling us about some of the cool goals that they have achieved in this last 90 days, how they did it, and we're going to hear now if there were any challenges or setbacks along that way. So which one of you would like to take that question?
Go ahead.
Well, like I was pointing out earlier, I think there were challenges as far as we had set goals and we had to adjust on the fly at certain points. And that was communication that we had to have as a couple in order to make some of those financial things work. Because again, her sleep number is different than mine. So it was both of us kind of getting our heads wrapped around the same ideas and the same goal and move that way.
Yeah.
And then as far as we changed kind of our eating plan and kind of developed some tools. Like I've been logging my food every day for 95 days now straight.
Wow.
But that was a challenge because when you go out to eat, what do you eat? How do you eat?
Yeah.
And was I always perfect with how I was eating? No. We were out of town on vacation, like Kim told you, and I had some pasta one night, and I had some bread that is not on my eating plan, but I still met my goal weight. I'm still where I want to be. It was just knowing that, okay, now I got to go back to what I was doing before, what was working. To meet those challenges.
Right. So I mean, you may have gotten derailed at times, but you didn't let that didn't take you out of the game.
didn't stop
right
me.
back on.
Yeah. And I could beat myself up all day about it and say, what the heck am I doing, and get mad at myself. But it was bringing myself, or having Kim help me bring myself out of the state of suffering into the state of beauty of, no, I've got this. I've done this before.
Yeah.
And kind of switching my brain again, like you taught us, and changing my way of thinking and getting back on track.
Right, and I was thinking about our conversation on the trip down here this morning, because what you guys have really done is you developed willpower, and I always define willpower as the ability to manage your thinking and your actions. That's what willpower is. It's the ability to manage your thinking and your actions. And that's what you guys have really become very proficient at, managing your thinking, managing your actions, and getting the results that you want. Yeah, so were there any other setbacks?
I would say during this last 90 days, unexpectedly, Curt and I had to take a trip out of town to deal with a pretty serious family matter. And so we weren't financially expecting to do that. It's hard to travel and stay on our eating plan, as Curt's pointed out. But one of the things I really worked hard at doing while all this was taking place was turn the stresses into forms of gratitude. So for an example, because we had to go out of town for this family issue, it actually drew all of Curt's siblings all together into one location. And so that was nice. We hadn't been together in a long time.
Yep.
So we tried to take some negative things and turn them into positive. And as well as during the time I've mentioned before, it was tax season. And tax season is stressful for people, right? It's stressful for me because I'm the one that sort of manages the finances at home for the most part. And I didn't like the news we got from the accountant. And we had to, and as Curt said, then that made us, or forced us, to readjust where we were and to turn it into a positive instead of a negative.
Yeah.
Which obviously it did for us.
Right. So you were able to take situations where you could have focused on the negative, but you, again, because of willpower, your training, your thinking, you were able to say, hey, you know what can we focus on that's positive, that is good about this situation, or what can we make it, how can we make it good? And that allowed you to stay in action and continue to get results. Yeah.
I think in one of your training sessions, you told us that the best way to get out of the state of suffering is through gratitude.
Yeah.
And I've used that technique quite often. I'm catching myself like, okay, I have this tax bill, but the reason I have the tax bill is because I had such a great year of sales.
Yes.
Right? So I should be grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yep, I have to write the check to the private school, but I'm so grateful that my child has the opportunity to go there.
Absolutely.
Or we could financially afford to go out of town
On a whim. That's right.
I mean, it was just like,
Right.
okay, let's go, and it cost us money to go there, but it wasn't anything that was. I mean, yes, it was a challenge. I mean, because we didn't have disposable income like that, but at the same time, we did have enough that it wasn't a burden to us,
Right.
like it would be to other people.
Right.
So
Cool.
very fortunate.
Yes.
You just mentioned that gratitude helped you stay on track and turn situations around. What else worked for you guys, either individually or as a couple?
Staying committed and focused.
Okay.
And I think some of the ways we did that were through some game playing. Like Curt was saying, he logged his food. He stayed committed to that. This morning at breakfast, he got his little alarm went off that said 95 days straight of logging.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there's sticky notes all over our house. There's sticky notes all over my office. As I pointed out before, it was just keeping us focused on what that target was.
Yeah, I love it. And you've got that little alarm that went off that said 95 days of logging, which helps you just create momentum, right?
Oh yeah, because I don't want to miss that day, because it's like, okay, what did I eat yesterday?
Yeah.
Because I know that if I don't log it, then I'm going to break that cycle, and then I'm going to have to start again. And so literally like 2 days later, I'd be going, okay, what did I eat that day? And have to go back and kind of recreate what I'd eaten, do the best I could, and just so I could have that log finished up. And it was that my own mental note that, hey, you got to go finish that, because if you don't, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So
you guys found things that worked for you. You did reminders with sticky notes. You had that alarm that prompted you and also showed you. It's kind of like biofeedback, right? It's like or immediate feedback. That like, you've been doing this for 95 days, and you kind of get like, gosh, I'm on a roll, right?
yeah, exactly. I get excited
Yeah.
because when I miss a day and I go to and I click that I've done login for the day, and it shows me 1. I'm like, no, I'm not. Go back, go find the other day that I missed, and then make sure to clean that one up, and then finish, and then go back and go, oh, I'm better now. Because it's just that game I've been playing with myself for so long that just feels good when it's right, and it doesn't feel good when it's wrong.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah.
New habits.
Yes, new habits. All right, so a lot of people have tried to do what you guys have done. They've tried to take the weight off. They've tried to increase their finances or pay down their debt. And people, they start to make progress, and then something happens, and they totally fall off the wagon. What do you guys say to those people who are in that situation?
Well, we've done the same thing for years and years and years. I did not want to get up to 215, 220 pounds. Kim didn't want to be at her weight that she was ultimately at, and we've dieted before, we've done more exercise, we've taken those steps, but ultimately it was through your coaching that changed our way of thinking and our way of being. And then once we started taking those little steps, it was just building blocks.
Yeah, I mean, we're really no different than anybody else. You know that better than anybody. We've been coaching with you for months now.
Yeah.
It changed our lives. And I think it was, like I mentioned earlier, it's taking that step to be just a little bit more vulnerable and asking the professionals to help you, asking friends. I picked someone at work to be my accountability partner, and I told her everything I was doing. And asked her to keep me accountable. And one day I went in, and I'm a cinnamon roll fanatic, and they're sitting right on the counter in the break room. And she goes, "Don't do it, Kim, because you'll just come in my office crying tomorrow because you'll retain weight." So, I mean, it's just finding those people that keep you inspired and keep you focused.
Yeah, and I love what you said, accountability. You guys have accountability with each other, you have accountability with professionals and with other friends, and that is so huge. People you said you were vulnerable. You shared your goals, you shared your struggles, you shared what you wanted to accomplish, so people could, because if people really care about you, they're going to tell you, don't have the cinnamon roll, or don't skip the workout, or make sure to log it, right? It's not about telling people what to do. It's about, hey, I care about you, and I'm committed to your vision, just like you're committed to your vision, right? So finding those people in your life, creating that structure, that's part of the formula for success, yeah?
Yeah, and being true to your word.
And being true to your word.
I mean, because like in one of your episodes, you talk about consider it done. And we've put stuff on Facebook about, hey, this is what our goal is, or told other people, hey, this is what our goal is. And if I don't hit that goal, and if I don't succeed, then how am I going to look to those people? So it's that accountability piece. It's that being true to who you are and what you're talking about too.
Absolutely, keeping your word is so important. Absolutely. Let me check our time here. We have just about 1 more minute, and I want to find out real quick, in a nutshell, what's next for you guys?
We're going to build a house.
You're going to build a house, yes.
We're going to lose some more weight.
All right.
We're going to really focus on our finances this year. So November 1st is our new mark on the calendar, where we're going to take a look at where we are and readjust. And that's enough. That's a lot to put on our plate.
It is, and I think at this point we're kind of in a reevaluation stage.
Right on.
Just kind of figure out, okay, what is next? Because we've not really discussed that or talked about it much.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to hear what does happen.
But we do have to find something fun to stay focused on, some goal setting, because it really has become a new habit for us. And
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, thanks again for being on the show. Appreciate your time here.
Yeah.
And it's very inspiring, motivating. All right, guys, you know what to do. It's time to get out there. It's time to be a source of kindness, be a source of contribution. You have something that this world needs, and I believe in you.